Welcome back everyone. Hopefully you all are having an amazing day whenever you're watching. So I'm sure you all are familiar with the challenge known as Safari Week, a fan-hosted event where players hunt in the Safari Zone for a week straight in hopes of finding and catching at least one shiny Pokemon. This year I decided to finally participate, and in doing so, I decided to make my own variation of Safari Week, known as Safari Summer. And in this year's first annual Safari Summer, I've had a lot of luck and a lot of bad luck. I decided to hunt for the majority of June and July just because normally I wouldn't have enough time to fully enjoy Safari Week or see results at all. So that was my thought process behind Safari Summer, just to have more time. And I'm really glad I did, because along the way I met a lot of great people, had a lot of great interactions, a lot of great moments, and got to share some shinies with a lot of you. I'll have a playlist linked to my live reactions down below. Do check it out. But for Safari Summer, I had three main targets going into it. The first of which was Rhyhorn. I really wanted a shiny Rhyhorn because it's my favorite orange/brown shiny, and Rhydon is one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, and I wouldn't mind having it as a shiny. The second target I had was a Girafarig. Girafarig is my favorite Johto Pokemon of all time, and I really like it shiny. Even more so now that it can evolve in Scarlet and Violet and games going forward. And my third target was a shiny Houndour, mainly because I want to use a shiny Houndoom in the Emerald Battle Frontier. All three of these are pretty rare, albeit they are shiny, so of course they're going to be rare. But these are my targets for the event. Now let's get into it. So starting off phase 1 at only 2,056 encounters, we found and caught shiny Mareep. Now this little dude showed up very under odds, and only 5 days after the start of Safari Summer. Mareep is a 30% encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and we were off to a super great start. I was fully expecting to have my first shiny run away, but thankfully it didn't. I did decide to nickname it after a very good friend of mine named KT. Do check out his channel. He's currently one of my favorite shiny hunters, and he puts out a lot of great content. During one of his live streams, we birthed the idea of Safari Summer because we thought to ourselves, since most people already hunt pretty early in anticipation for Safari Week, why not just make an event out of it? And that was the birth of Safari Summer. So if it wasn't for him, this series wouldn't exist. So again, thank you a lot, KT, and everybody do check out his channel. That was phase 1. We were off to a great start. Phase 2, at only 4,826 encounters, we found and caught our second Safari Zone shiny, Doduo. We found it about 1 week after phase 1. Doduo is only a 15% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and we found it while hunting for Rhyhorn in the specific area in the Safari Zone. I decided to nickname this Doduo Break after one of my commenters who explained how phasing works to me. Since I'm pretty new on the shiny hunting community and what phasing is, his explanation was pretty great, so if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have all these stats up on video. So I really do appreciate your help, and thank you a lot. Doduo is one of those subtle shinies, but I do like it in later gens, so it was a nice capture. At least we didn't fail this one. But yeah, that was phase 2, and I couldn't be any happier. Phase 3, at only 2,885 encounters, we found and caught Apom, only 4 days after phase 2. Now, Apom is a 10% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and this little Apom broke out of 10 Safari Balls. It wasn't until the 11th Safari Ball that we finally caught it, which is definitely one of my most high stakes and nerve-wracking shiny encounters of all time. I think this Apom encounter embodies what Safari Week and Safari Summer is all about. I decided to nickname this Apom Johto after another good friend of mine named Johto the Kid. Do check out his channel. He is also one of my current favorite shiny hunters, and one of his most recent videos on Safari Week is definitely a must-see, so please go check him out. He had a lot of great encounters during Safari Week, and I don't want to spoil it, but he has a lot of great captures too. Phase 4, at only 3,240 encounters, we found and caught Shiny Oddish. Shiny Oddish was found only 6 days after Phase 3, and it's a 30% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald. Now, I decided to nickname this Oddish after a good friend of mine, Riley, who has his own channel. Please check him out. He is one of my favorite Battle Frontier live streamers. As of the recording of this video, he's currently live streaming a shiny hunt for an Oddish. I hope he's caught it by now, but if not, I'm sending him all the luck. But yeah, that was Phase 4. It was very under odds too, and I couldn't be any happier. So far, we've had great luck. Phase 5. At 5,436 encounters, we found and failed our first Safari Zone shiny, Miltank. This one hurt a lot because Miltank is a 5% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, so I really felt the loss on this one. Phase 6, at only 362 encounters, we found and caught Shiny Sunkern. We found Shiny Sunkern only 2 hours after our failed Miltank, which were both on 4th of July. Shiny Sunkern is a 10% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and I nicknamed it after another good acquaintance of mine, Furret Finds. He is also one of my favorite shiny hunters. Please do check out his channel. He has a lot of great shiny hunting content up right now, and I would appreciate if you checked it out. Yeah, this is Phase 6. Couldn't be happier to have another successful shiny encounter. I'm liking our odds so far. Hopefully we don't fail another shiny. Phase 7, at a whopping 12,590 encounters, we found and failed our second shiny Miltank, which is again a 5% chance encounter. We found it about 9 days after phases 5 and 6. Phase 8, at only 4,563 encounters, we found and caught Shiny Hoot. Now, we found Shiny Hoot only 4 days after our failed Miltank. Shiny Hoot felt like a redemption in a way, because it is also a 5% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and I'm super happy we found it. Its shiny is very subtle in Gen 3, however, in the future generations, its yellow is very vibrant, so I can't wait to eventually transfer it up. I decided to nickname this Hoot after another good friend of mine named Retro Lever. Please do check out his channel. He is currently in the process of a Pokemon Soul Silver Forever save and a Pokemon Emerald Forever save. He's been very supportive during Safari Summer, and I really would appreciate if you go show him just as much support. So please go check out his channel. And that was Phase 8. Phase 9, at only 6,410 encounters, we found and caught Shiny Psyduck. Psyduck is a 100% chance encounter in Pokemon Emerald, and I decided to nickname this Psyduck after one of my favorite shiny hunters, PB Carrot. Please go check out her channel. She has a lot of great content up on shiny hunting, and she is a major inspiration as to why I continue shiny hunting in Generation 3. Very late into Safari Summer, I decided to start hunting in the water for water-type Pokemon, and I'm glad I did because that changed the trajectory of this Safari Summer greatly, as you'll soon see. Phase 10, at only 752 encounters, we were able to find, however fail, Shiny Marill. This one hurt a lot because Shiny Marill is my favorite green shiny of all time. But thankfully, however, during Phase 11, we found another Shiny Marill at only 1,952 encounters, and we were able to reclaim our first failed Marill. Now, I'm super happy we were able to reclaim this because, again, it's my favorite green shiny of all time. I don't plan on evolving this one just because I prefer Marill over Azumarill Shiny. I did decide to nickname this one Absol after Absol Plays. I want to give a huge thanks to him for hosting Safari Week this year and many previous years. These events are always fun to do and to watch, and I really do appreciate you because you really do bring the community together, and you know how to have a great time while shiny hunting. So again, major props and major thanks. I can't wait for next year's Safari Week, and sending you a lot of luck on your shiny Absol hunt too. On to the next phase. Phase 12, we were able to find and catch shiny Wooper at only 3,336 encounters. Now I decided to nickname this Wooper Ellie after another very favorite shiny hunter of mine, Ellie Fawn X. Do check out her channel. She has a lot of great shiny hunting videos up right now, and she does stream her shiny hunts as well. So please go show her all the support you can. I really would appreciate it. Wooper is one of those shinies that I've always wanted to hunt, just never really put time into it, and I'm glad I was able to find and catch this one. So far, we have a good success rate during the Safari summer, and I hope that doesn't change anytime soon. On to the next phase, phase 13, at only 1,441 encounters, shiny Teddiursa. We failed this one unfortunately, and it is one of my favorite green shinies too, but you know, what can you do? You fail some, you win some. On to the next phase, and the last phase, phase 14, at 7,273 encounters, we found our first ever Kanto shiny Execute. Now, for those of you who don't know, I live streamed this specific hunt in honor of Safari Week, and those streams were my very first live streams ever on the channel. Please go check them out. I will be live streaming most weekends from now on. I had a lot of fun hunting it with you guys, and it's crazy that it took us a total of 57,122 encounters to find our first Kanto Safari Zone shiny. Every other shiny we found in Pokemon Emerald, which is insane to me. We were hunting on a total of at 1.7 consoles. Really happy we found this Execute, and I decided to name it Mythical because it is like a mythical golden egg that we finally found at the end of the event. That was my Safari summer. These were my finds, and I want to show off my shiny Nidoking, which I caught as a shiny Nidoran all the way back in 2009 when I was a kid. This was the first ever Safari shiny I've ever found and caught up until this year, and it's a nice trophy to have. It's also a nice time capsule. I'm super happy I still have it too. It survived almost 2 decades worth of transfers. But this is my entire Safari summer collection, and I think I did pretty good. We did fail some pretty rare shinies, but we also caught a bunch of them, so I think we walked away with a pretty good win ratio. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find or capture any of our targets for this Safari summer. I'm hoping next year during 2027 Safari Summer and Safari Week, we are able to find and catch a shiny Rhyhorn, Girafarig, or Houndour. I still really want to hunt these, but I'd prefer to save them for Safari Summer or Safari Week. So do look forward to that next year. But yeah, without anything else to share, thank you guys for tuning in. This was my Safari Summer, and please check out a quick little challenge run I did with some of my favorite shinies from Safari Summer. Yeah, thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day.